Hey everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Mindy Banks. I'm the Flip Flop Chef. Today I'm going to show you how to make taffy apple pizza. This is a really old recipe from the Pampered Chef, but it is so good, so quick and easy. I've already pre-baked our cookie dough crust here. We're going to put a cream cheese peanut butter topping on top of the crust. Then we're going to slice some apples and top it with some homemade caramel sauce made from the deluxe cooking blender, and top it off with some chopped peanuts. So let's go ahead and get started. If you are watching me live or catching the replay, please comment, let me know where you're watching from, and as always, I appreciate you watching. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna start off with our pizza crust, our cookie dough crust rather. So this is pre-baked. I bought the store-bought Pillsbury sugar cookie packages. They're a little bit smaller now than they used to be, so I ended up just using 2 packages. It's more than I needed, but I'd rather have more than not enough. So this was pre-baked at 350 degrees. It took about 25 minutes since I did a double cookie, and I'm using the Pampered Chef's white large round stone with the handle. So this one has a nice lip around the edges. If you have stoneware, then I know that you love it. I am going to show you what I've done ahead of time. So after I bake this, you want to let it cool completely because we're going to be putting a cream cheese mixture on top of the cookie dough. And you don't want that to be melting on the top. So this is something to be served at room temperature. I did go ahead and loosen the crust from the bottom of this pizza stone using a bread knife. So you want to use a thin bread knife, and I actually ended up using the all-purpose spreader first just to sort of go all the way around to try to prevent too much cracking. And I did get a little crack right here, but I want to show you guys, you're just going to take your bread knife. Now be careful, pay attention to which direction the blade is, and you're just going to scrape this under the crust and loosen it from the pizza stone, and that's just going to make serving this so much easier. And hopefully I'll remember another trick to share with you before we add on the apples on top. So I did use the baker's roller just to kind of spread this cookie dough out on the stone. It did not go all the way to the edge when I spread it out, but obviously when it baked, it did spread a little bit more. So I'm going to set this aside for the moment, and let's go ahead and mix up our cream cheese mixture. I'm going to use the plastic mixing bowl here. I have a brick of cream cheese. I'm going to add a couple more things to this, and then we're going to use our Flex Plus multi-prep tool using the hand mixer attachment, and I'll tell you all about that in just a second. I'm going to add a ½ cup of brown sugar. I have a ¼ cup of peanut butter. I made this peanut butter also in the deluxe cooking blender, super quick and easy. We're gonna add a ½ teaspoon of Pampered Chef's double strength vanilla extract, and I love that that is available right now for purchase. It's a seasonal product, so depending on which, if you're watching the replay when you're watching this, it may or may not be available, but you can use another brand vanilla. I want to go ahead and break up this brick of cream cheese. I'm going to use the Flex Plus. So to put this together, this is the hand mixer attachment right here. This is the power handle, and then this is the battery. You can choose from beaters or whisks. I'm going to go with beaters since this is a little bit thicker. One of our beaters has a little extra piece of metal here. The whisks do not have that, so you want to make sure that you look right on the blender. You're not going to be able to see that probably in the video, but make sure that one goes on the right side or it will fall out. So after you have your beaters attached, you're going to attach the power handle here. Whoops, I had it right the first time. Attach the power handle, and then you're going to get 2 batteries. This one is fully charged. I took it off the charger and switched it out with the other one today. I love that we get 2 batteries, and a single charge will actually hold this battery for about 30 minutes, which is actually a long time when you're thinking about mixing, or if you're using the food processor or the immersion blender, excuse me. There is a safety switch on the hand mixer, so you're going to push this to turn on the beaters here. Before we do this, I do want to let you know that I have a full video going over all the features of the Flex Plus. So if you're like, wait, what did she say about a food processor and an immersion blender? Be sure to check my channel for that. And I love all the pieces to this. So let's go ahead and get started. Press the safety, turn the blender on, or the mixer rather. Speed that up just a little bit, just to break up this cream cheese a little. that'll stand up. I'm gonna add half a cup of brown sugar, and I also have this 1/4 cup of homemade peanut butter that I made in the deluxe cooking blender. If you wanna learn how to make that, I have a cooking blender class on my YouTube channel. You can find that also at the Flip Flop Chef when you're on YouTube, and I'll show you how to make that peanut butter. It only takes 2 minutes and 20 seconds to make that. So let's go ahead and get this together. You can see a little bit of what I'm working with here. All right, I'm gonna add a little bit of vanilla. I'm gonna set this aside. It didn't feel like it wanted to prop up this time. So a half a teaspoon. If you're using another vanilla, you can still just use a half a teaspoon. Because I am using Pampered Chef's double strength Madagascar pure vanilla extract, I could just use a 1/4 of a teaspoon, but I decided to just use the full amount. I almost always do that just because I love the flavor of vanilla, and our vanilla is truly the very, very best. It uses the highest quality beans, and they use twice as many, and that's why it is a double strength. All right, so I'm just scraping down the sides. We're gonna get our hand mixer back again, turn this on, get that all mixed together nice and smooth. Now, I don't know if you noticed, I kind of lifted the mixer out of the mixture for just a second, just to kind of get as much off of the beaters as possible. I'm going to remove the battery and the power handle, and then there is a button right here to release the beater attachment. So I'm going to press that, release these. These are dishwasher safe, easy to clean. All right, now let's get our pizza crust back over here. I'm trying to keep my pizza cutter close because I don't want to forget to show you guys a really cool trick. But then what we're going to do is we're going to put all of this right on top of our sugar cookie crust. Can't waste any of this, right? Okay. I'm going to take our small spreader. Just go ahead and get all of this off of there. If you want to lick this spatula, leave a little bit on there. All right. Off my hand. Okay, so we're going to use our small spreader to spread this mixture almost to the edge. Not all the way. I got a couple little pieces of clumps of brown sugar, but that's okay. We're going to cover this up anyway, so nobody's going to see that. Mix this together. Smooth it out and go almost to the edge. And you could use our regular large pizza stone for this, but if you're gonna do the extra crust like I did, it's best to use one that has the little lip around it. You don't want this dripping over into your oven. You can also use the Rock Crock Grill Stone, which I love using the Rock Crock Grill Stone because it can go on your grill, but it can also go on your smoker or your Big Green Egg. Not this one, but the black Rock Crock one, so don't want to confuse anybody. All right. Get all this spread out. I'm just going to smooth that edge a little bit. And then here is where this little trick comes in. So we've loosened the crust from the bottom of the pizza stone with the bread knife. Now we're going to take our pizza cutter and we're going to go ahead and pre-slice this before we put the rest on there. And I'm going to tell you why in just a second. So let's cut this just like a pizza, and if you need to take that little crust cutter edge to separate that, you can do that. But you want to cut this before you decorate it because it will stay looking really pretty. Now, I'm going to cut these into smaller pieces than I would like a traditional savory pizza because those were really big slices. So let's cut these last 2 rows, and I'm going to just start that with our crust cutter because that was right on the handle. Okay, so that is our pre-cut pizza. We're gonna take the small spreader back and look, nobody's gonna know it's pre-cut unless they look super close at the edge. So this is gonna make this pizza look so good. Now, if you guys are a new subscriber, new viewer, be sure you join my recipe community. You can find it at theflipflopchef.com. You can also find my Facebook pages and YouTube also by searching for The Flip Flop Chef. All right, so look, doesn't even look like it's been cut. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our apples together. I'm gonna clean up my space just a little bit, and we're gonna use our apple peeler quarter slicer, which is a really fun product. If you've never seen this before, you're gonna love, you need to see this in action. Let me get a cutting mat, and I've got a couple of Granny Smith apples here. So we're gonna peel, core, and slice them using the apple peeler quarter slicer. This product came in my starter kit in January of 1999. I have been using the same one, and that's why this block looks super weathered, because it is. But I love that this product is still going strong nearly 23 years later. So you have some choices here. If you don't want to peel your apple, you can just pull this little piece down, and all it's going to do is core it and slice it. Now, if you want to not slice it and you want to just peel it, then you would pull this piece. Actually, you know what? You would not core it, but it would just peel it. If you take the little wrench that comes with this, loosen this little nut and slide this piece down. It's been so long since I've done that or shared that. I was losing my train of thought. So this piece here, if you don't want to peel it, just pull that down. If you find that you're getting too much of the peel, you can actually pull this down and adjust that blade so that you don't take away too much of the actual apple. So we're gonna pop this in just like that. And then this piece here, so if you see where I'm pushing with my thumb, this gives me the ability to move this back and forth. The reason I like to do this is because it's a lot faster than just cranking this all the way there. So you can kind of speed it up a little bit. And check this out. I'm going to turn this so that you can see how fun this looks. So it's peeling it, it's coring it, and it's slicing it. Awesome, right? So we're gonna do another one. And the way that you take this off, you're gonna put your thumb, I'm right-handed, so my left thumb is gonna go here, my right hand is gonna go here, and just gently pull back. If you pull back really hard, what's gonna happen is you're gonna shoot that, core across the kitchen. I will tell you, my papa, he used to hook this onto a little bench outside of his front porch and peeled a bunch of apples, and he would pull it back really hard and he would aim it into a bucket. So if you want to do that, you certainly can. All right, so we're gonna I'll turn it again so you can kind of see how this works. Peels, cores, and slices. So we're gonna do 2 apples here. And then let's see. Pull this gently while also pushing that button. And then I just rinse, wipe the block down and rinse the peeler. So let's get rid of our trash. If you want, you can put those in some water, make yourself like a potpourri. I'm not gonna do that today, but that is an idea. All right, so we've got our apples. I'm gonna just discard the little pieces right here that are right on the top, just since there's a lot of peel on there. We're gonna take a knife. I'm just using our smaller, the 5-inch Santoku knife here. Slice these in half, and take our pizza, and what you're gonna do, oops, a little seed in there. Let me get that out. Okay, and you're just going to layer these around. We might need a 3rd apple since I used a bigger crust for this one. But we'll see. I have more if I need to go grab another one. We're just gonna put these around, and then we're gonna drizzle it with some, I'm gonna save some of those smaller pieces for in the middle. We're gonna drizzle this with some homemade caramel, which I made in Pampered Chef's Deluxe Cooking Blender. I have a video on my channel showing you how to do that as well. So if you don't know how to make that and you want to learn how, definitely check out my other videos. The caramel sauce is my husband's favorite. Okay, so now I'm gonna use these little smaller pieces here, and if you wanna fill in any little bare spots, we'll do that. Okay. Now it's time for the caramel. Move this out of the way. Isn't this beautiful? You could eat it just like this if you wanted to. All right, I bought this container. It's just a condiment container. You can get it at the Dollar Tree. That's where I got mine. And you can decide how you want to swirl this. I'm gonna see if this is, yeah, this is fine. I thought I might make the, actually, you know what? I think I am. I want a little bit thicker. Let's see, I'm gonna just trim the top here. There we go. Make sure this piece of plastic gets in the trash. We don't want to accidentally eat that. Yeah, this is better. Give me a little thicker pour here. So this condiment cup actually came as a 2-pack, so I got 2 of them for $1. If you do pour it in there right after you make it, make sure that you let the caramel cool just a little bit, because it might melt the bottle, because it's not like a heat-safe bottle by any means. But I did put it in there when it was still warm. I'm gonna make sure I get these edges so that this looks really pretty. You do want to refrigerate your caramel, so make sure after it cools completely, put it in the refrigerator, and when you're ready to use it again, then let it, just bring it out, so let it get room temperature so that it's pourable. You could also take it out of that and put it in a container that's easily microwavable. Just some options for you. All right, our last step, we're gonna chop some peanuts to go right on the top. We're gonna use our food chopper. I'm gonna chop directly into the little chopping cup. You can use our food chopper on a cutting board or a cutting mat as well. Now, so that you know how this works, when you press, these blades are gonna rotate just slightly each time. So you're not mashing your food, you're actually chopping it. If you remember the older version choppers, they had like just a little handle, and you would have to literally turn the little knob around. I'm telling you guys all kinds of stories now, but my grandmother, she always was chopping pecans for something, and I remember her letting me do that, and now I know why, because it was not a very fun process using those choppers. To take this apart, you can just take all these pieces out, and then this goes on the top rack of the dishwasher. To plug this back in, it's just like plugging something in the wall. You plug it in right here, twist this back on. We can pour these nuts right in here. Actually, for nuts, I actually like to pour them inside of the food chopper and then flip it over like this. So, let's see what we got. Okay, and then you can just take, oops, I'm pushing that in the wrong direction for my camera. Sprinkle this right on the top. I'm gonna do half of this with peanuts on the top and half without. You can make it all if you want, but I know 2 little boys who are gonna wanna eat this. They're not gonna want the nuts, and so I wanna make this so that they can enjoy it as well. And to serve this, I recommend using the slice and serve from Pampered Chef as well. So this is the Taffy apple pizza. It is a throwback recipe from Pampered Chef, and I hope that you guys will make this. I will post the recipe in my recipe community. If you're not already a member there, you can find it at theflipflopchef.com, and I look forward to seeing you in that group, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.